the thing with goals is oftentimes people start with the goal and then they get really connected and attached to
the
that
goal instead of to that self part.
Exactly. And that's why my first step in the formula is commit, and commit to yourself first. What if I try this? What's the worst that can happen?
Right.
That was the first question. What's the worst that can happen? Worst that can happen. I go out there, I don't like it, I come back. Like, if I come back, then, all right, I know. No big deal, right? At least I've tried it. Because the bigger worst that could happen in my mind was that I never tried it.
Hey there, superstar. Welcome back. I'm here with LeeAnn Marie Webster, my longest standing client at the moment. She's in the Inner Circle program, and I wanted to bring her here to talk a little bit about what she's up to, because it's really, really cool, and I think that it could really benefit some of you. So LeeAnn, tell us a little bit about what you're working on right now that might be interesting to our YouTube followers.
Well, I'm super excited to talk about my no regrets formula, which is, in a nutshell, just what I've realized about my life, of how I've been able to live my life with no regrets. And now I want to help others to do the same.
So what is the no regrets formula?
Well, let me start by saying just one thing that it's not. And I know we don't usually talk about what's not. And I realize that some people could think no regrets means like, woo, let's party, do whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, no regrets, right?
Right.
Not really about that.
Okay.
It's about tuning into, it starts, the first step of it is committing, and committing to yourself first above anything else. Okay. And the idea behind that is you want to live your life in a way so that, when you're sitting back, not even sitting back at the end of life. What if you're sitting back next week and you say, man, I wish I would have given that a try. Mm-hmm. What would have happened if I would have said yes to this experience?
Right.
What if I would have turned right instead of turned left? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm getting into with no regrets. It can be big, sure. Run a marathon, climb Kilimanjaro, there can be huge.
We're talking about all the things she's done, by the way, which we'll get into later.
So they can be macro, big, huge experiences in life.
Right.
Or it can be the micro of what am I choosing to eat today? Or am I choosing to exercise?
Well, I think when you say micro, though, that's a micro decision, but it's related to a macro vision.
Totally.
Right? So it sounds like no regrets is about living a life that's congruent with a vision.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
with something that inspires you, or, in whatever way, right?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yes. And they can be things that you'll be posting everywhere and writing about forever, or it could be a decision to meditate every day because you want to connect more deeply with yourself. It can be that simple.
So no regrets is living a life that's congruent with, sounds like, the person you want to be and the future you want to experience.
Yes. So there's 6 elements to it, and they are commit, connect, create, conduct, credo, and crew. And as a whole, what we're doing is really tapping into, something, a future version of ourselves, or something we want to create. Some people could call this a goal. Right. There's many forms of it. Okay. And you might have more than one. This isn't, I'm just going to focus on this one thing, or maybe you do focus on one thing, but you could also have 3 or 4 elements to it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And what do you call it? Are these goals? Are these, is there a name for?
We can call them goals. Okay. I think that's the easiest way to think about it. Mm-hmm. It's just the thing with goals is oftentimes people start with the goal and then they get really connected and attached to
the goal instead of to that self part.
Exactly. And that's why my first step in the formula is commit, and commit to yourself first.
You have a story about this. Why don't you tell us the story about that time where you found yourself being presented with an opportunity that was not in alignment with that commitment that you made with yourself, but it was a goal that you had set.
For sure. Right? So I'm an attorney. I don't know if we mentioned this. Whatever. No. I'm an attorney. I practiced law for a few years in Columbus, Ohio. And, like many practicing lawyers, I realized I wasn't happy with the area in which I was practicing. Okay. I was doing, hold on to your hats because this is exciting, I was doing product liability defense litigation for auto manufacturers.
Oh gosh.
We need to wake everybody up.
And wasn't there a movie about like how sketchy those people are or something?
Hey,
I don't know.
I was on that side.
No, the bean counters. Do you remember that movie? You know what I'm talking about?
Anyway,
Sorry.
And so I thought, like, gosh, if I could practice in a different area, then I might love practicing more.
Right.
And so what do I love?
Valid thought. Yeah.
Yeah. What do I love? I love music.
Okay.
And I think it's a really powerful force. So it's like, okay, if I could practice entertainment law,
then I'd be happy.
I, of course, think, well, then that means I need to move to LA.
Of course.
LA or New York, and obviously LA, California, over that. And so I quit my job. I do the whole thing.
Without a job in LA waiting for you.
Yeah, and without having yet passed the California bar.
Okay.
Which is key to getting a job in LA.
Right.
And so I go out there. Yeah.
That's some chutzpah.
I know.
That's some chutzpah, or those.
Well, here's the thing. As I sat there in Ohio with my very good job in a city that, where I had a lot of friends and a great structure and nothing wrong with my life, I thought, what if I try this? What's the worst that can happen?
Right.
That was the first question. What's the worst that can happen? Worst that can happen. I go out there. I don't like it. I come back. Like, if I come back, then, all right, I know. No big deal, right? At least I've tried it. Because the bigger worst that could happen in my mind was that I never tried it.
If you're looking to learn more about No Regrets Formula, LeeAnn, tell people where they can find out more.
NoRegretsFormula.com.
Oh, isn't that just perfect? So go to NoRegretsFormula.com, learn more about LeeAnn's course. Maybe I'll see you there.
Yeah. Yes, I had moved to practice entertainment law, but I really moved to take a stand for myself.
That's right.
I moved that I could live a life that I loved and that I wanted and do what I wanted in life and love the people and the things and have my work have meaning.
Yeah.
And because I was committed to myself, so I wasn't committed to the goal of being an entertainment lawyer. If I'm committed to that goal alone, I take that job.
Yes.
If I'm committed to myself, I do what makes the most sense for myself.
Alignment, baby.
Yeah.